looking live here, folks, in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, here at DNA HQ. On today's episode of the D-Day Sports Recap, we have...
Let's talk about Logan Cooley returning to the Utah Mammoth.
The University of Utah, we have some key signings this offseason in December. How does that impact the team going forward?
With the Utah Jazz, is Keyonte George is having a breakout year. Let's talk a little bit about that.
And in Major League Baseball, who is the best team in Major League Baseball going into 2026? All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing good, buddy. I'm doing good. I'm just so excited to be back, man.
Yes, absolutely.
We got whiskey.
Yes, before we jump into the show, pre-show cheers. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you guys.
For the YouTube algorithm, that's apple juice.
Every time.
All right, what do you say we get things kicked off and we talk a little bit about your Utah Mammoth? There.
Yeah.
We got another chat there. This one is coming from Amu8779. Glad to have you back. We're glad to be back, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for commenting.
Let's go ahead and first talk a little bit about Utah Mammoth, man. What a difference a season makes for the Utah Mammoth. This time last year, we were talking about how close they could get to playoff contention.
Yeah.
And here we sit. The team is at 60 points, 28, 21, and 4 record. And top of the wild card spot in the West with an 8-1-1 in their last 10.
Yeah.
Only the Lightning have a better last 10 record than your Utah Mammoth, man. What is going on with the boys there?
Well, I mean, this team looks amazing. I mean, really, and it's crazy because over this stretch, they've really been playing, like these last 10 games, they've been playing some of their best hockey that we've seen since they've come to Utah, which has been really refreshing. You can tell the energy in the arena is just exciting. And it's crazy because through this massive stretch, they're missing one person.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Logan Cooley's been out, right? So he's obviously been sidelined since December 5th. He had a lower body injury. He's missed roughly 21 games as of now. And with all that being said, you just wouldn't think this team would be on the run that they are, missing one of their young star players. So it's been really interesting to just watch how, Coach Tourigny's been moving players in, moving players out. And it's been really fun to watch. Really fun to watch.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. There's an article by Jaxon Wynder on KSL there. They're talking about a Cooley-sized problem. Basically what this article is stating here is that stating that the team right now is operating so hot. Would it be a problem to bring Cooley back in when he's ready back coming from injury?
Yeah.
So when it comes to that there, I mean, obviously the article states a few things. The first one is that they are 9-2-1 since they started the year. Currently, as it sits right now, as of January 1st.
Yeah.
Right. The Mammoth are 9-2-1 to start the year. But I think the stat that's more telling about this is going to be the record since Cooley went down.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have that number?
Yeah. Since Cooley's injury, Utah is 14-9-1 overall and 9-2-1 since the start of the new year.
Yeah, so for me, that kind of tells the whole story. That just tells me we got some smart moves by Coach Tourigny to really turn things around. By the way, I've heard the G be silent in his name, Tourigny.
Yeah, that would actually probably make more sense.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments, guys, if we're getting the name wrong, coach's name wrong. But for me, in the case of that, I'd have to say that it's more around the smart moves that they made. Versus, really him being the problem. I think they just had enough time, enough legs when he goes down because again, that's technically a losing record out of the gate in December once he went down on December 5th.
Yeah.
They lost more games than they won.
Yeah.
Right. And now since the beginning of January is where they really turned it around with that 9-2-1.
And all of a sudden they're just making it happen.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily say that I think it's just a proof that it takes a minute, when one of your star players goes down to really kind of get back in the saddle and get some options going. So, but anyway, the main thing that this article brings up is whether or not it's a problem to figure out a way to get Cooley back in the lineup and if it's going to mess with the chemistry. What's your take on that?
When you have a player as talented as Logan Cooley, the answer is just always no. You know what I mean? You put him in wherever you think he fits in. You let him get out there. I mean, I think you kind of ease him in just because, like, it's such a physical sport. It is so, taxing. And I think you just ease him back into play. And then you put him out there wherever he just continues to fit in, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, I don't necessarily, like I said, I think that Coach Tourigny really has this whole next man up mentality working for this team. It's really about having the right coach and the right coaching staff in place to really kind of drive that kind of mentality home. A lot of teams, other teams in Utah, when their star player goes down, they tend to start to lose a few games. And similarly with the Mammoth here, but the difference between the Mammoth and I think the Utah Jazz is that the Mammoth were able to weather that, make adjustments, a la Quinn Snyder. Just kidding, not really a la Quinn Snyder. you know. And kind of make those adjustments, man. I mean, with there's just been some key plays from other players coming in, especially when you think about Nick Schmaltz and that penalty kill play where he got that great goal coming in against Florida.
Yeah,
some of these key plays. Basically, just a lot of the time, this team was playing from behind early in the first period.
Yeah,
and they come back to win. So it's not like they're just going through, just mowing through guys. These are people who are having issues. This team's having issues coming in, getting down early, and figuring out a way just to get those wins, get those dubs, get those points, and really kind of come out of this ahead of time. Now with 4 games left before the Olympic break, which I believe is February 4th or 5th, somewhere around there, Utah's already in a commanding spot, holding that top wild card spot with a great way to basically control their destiny going down the stretch with another, 21 games left in the season going after that?
Yeah, and the best part is, like, there's always a bright side to losing a player like Cooley. And it's all you did is you just pushed your depth up even better, right? Now you've got guys that have seen ice time, that have been out there, can contribute when they're called upon. Mm-hmm. Like, it just shows you the Utah Mammoth is in such a better position to continue to compete deep into the postseason because we did have an injury and we fought through it and we continued to push and win games and figure out how to win games. I love where this team's at. Adding Logan Cooley is going to make us even better. And I think that they're in such a good place because of this injury and the depth that they've seen that they now have.
Yeah. I just think those keys adjustments, man, are going to be what's going to help this team. I think bringing Cooley back in, just like you said, is going to make all the difference. It's going to be like having an acquisition, right, with a third of the season left, less than a third of the season left.
Yeah.
It's going to be like having a player acquisition, which is always nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Like I said, they're in a position where they're going to be, right now, they're like, 4 or 5 points up right now? 3 to 4 points up.
Yeah, they actually have a decent lead for that wild card spot.
Yeah. I mean, everybody behind them is it's like a 4-way tie right now.
Yeah.
So it's based off of, I believe, records, competing records, to see who's going to have those other spots. But yeah, I love seeing it where there are, man. What a difference a year makes with a team name instead of Utah Hockey. It's Utah Mammoth, and all of that effort they put into retooling this team and signing those line contracts to the players they want to keep around here long term. Like, this organization is just running it the right way, man. Just running it the right way, and you love to see it.
Yeah, and it was really nice to see this team really go in on these young players and offer some big contracts and be willing to pay guys that they know need to be around long term for this team to have success. You gotta love it, man. I mean, for a Utah sports franchise, this one's getting run the right way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. As a reminder, folks, we did just launch a channel specifically for your Utah Mammoth called Utah Mammoth DNA. It's a channel specifically dedicated to your Utah Mammoth. See if that works. Does that pop it up? There it is.
Oh, there's the logo.
Utah Mammoth DNA. It will be linked in the description down below. So if you have not yet, if you're here for the hockey content and you're not yet subscribed to that channel, Utah Mammoth, check it out in the description down below.
Check that one.
Weekly videos coming for your Utah Mammoth. It's going to be super fun to get back in that swing of things to see how this team handles down the stretch.
Yep.
Let us know if you guys want us to cover anything regarding the Olympics there, following Utah Mammoth players and how they're doing. We'd like, Yeah, maybe that's something we dive
Yeah,
into.
absolutely.
Let's go ahead and jump in the comments here. We have a comment from McKinley Cutler. McKinley, we just talked about you here a minute ago. I don't know if your ears were burning. That's made you jump in the stream there. Good to see you back. It's great to be back, man. Great to have you back in the stream, man. Thanks for joining us. And we got another one here from Yamaha MX-11A. You're running things the right way, JJ. That's right. Absolutely.
That's me.
That's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Thank you.
I like you're JJ.
Yeah, I had a bunch of friends when I was younger call me JJ.
Interesting.
Which is funny because it's clearly an A. This guy, and it went from AJ to JJ to just J. Like, yeah, depending on who you talk to. I mean, because AJ is such a long name, you obviously need to shorten that down to just J.
Right.
It happens, but thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for joining the stream, man. Appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about our University of Utah football team, shall we?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, before we get into content, folks, we did launch a channel specifically for your University of Utah football called Utah Football DNA. A link to that channel will be in the description down below. If you're joining us live on the live stream, thank you. Thank you for being here. We're here every Wednesday evening. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube or listening to it on our podcast, a link to Utah Football DNA will be in the description down below.
Make sure you check it out. This is the channel.
That's right. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. There's a couple things we want to talk about. The first thing is going to be some information. Well, basically just the first article I saw on Sports Illustrated regarding Kelvin, man, the offensive tackle that we officially signed in December last month.
Yep.
Again, it's been a few weeks since we've been on, so we wanted to make sure we cover this one. We did talk about this kid earlier. He is 6'6", 300-pound offensive tackle, signed with Utah in December. We were pretty big on this kid when we
heard, because we'd heard that he had verbally committed, and then to see him actually, sign on National Signing Day, commit himself to the Utes, and then with all the trauma, which we're going to talk a little bit about coming up, but with all the Kyle Whittingham drama, there was obviously some big concern that you have a 5-star recruit, the first one in Utah football history. You think, could this guy potentially leave, right?
Right. And
Michigan's a big-time school.
There is a unique thing that you mentioned here that helped push this one across the line, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Break it down, man.
No, I'm asking you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. But yeah, the big reason that you get, Kelvin Obot was this massive recruit. Mm-hmm. And everyone's wondering, how are the Utes going to retain this guy? And Utah goes out and they find, obviously they got to rebuild the coaching staff. And who do they go and find? How about Jordan Gross, who is his head coach at Fruitland High School in Fruitland, Idaho. And
yeah, that had to help.
Yeah, I mean that was the person that made him into a 5-star recruit. And if you don't know, I mean, some of these obviously generational Utah fans are going to know Jordan Gross was one of the best offensive linemen to ever play for Utah. He played from the Utes from 99 to 2002. He didn't allow a single sack in his final 2 seasons at Utah. He was named a consensus first team All-American in 2002. So he played on some really good Utah football teams. And then he goes on to go coach high school football, and he gets his opportunity to move up to, the Power 4 level, become the offensive line coach at the University of Utah, and also gets an opportunity to coach his protege in the 5-star recruit out of a small town in Fruitland, Idaho, which is really, really cool.
Shout out to Idaho, by the way, my first home.
Boom.
Yeah. I think that's amazing, man. Gosh, can you imagine? That's a storybook right there, man. There's a made for TV movie in there somewhere for sure.
Absolutely.
Or at least an ESPN 30 for 30.
Yeah.
At least. Yeah.
I mean, such a cool story, dude. I mean, you go to the U, you play, you have an excellent NFL career. You retire, you go back to your hometown, because he's from Fruitland too, or somewhere up in Idaho. He might have been Fruitland. Coach your high school football team. You get this kid and pull him and just build him into this massive, this kid had offers from Michigan, Ohio State. I mean, every Power 4 school was going after Kelvin Obot. Mm-hmm. And you convince him, hey, Utah might be the place for you. These guys are producing offensive line talent down there. They're sending guys to the league. We did just have the Outland Trophy winner, Spencer Fano. Shout out to Spencer Fano. That's freaking amazing. The top interior offensive lineman in the country.
Very cool.
So
very, very cool.
it's already an offensive line factory at the U, and a lot of that is obviously not due to Jordan Gross, but God, I can't remember his name, the offensive line coach that just left. Obviously, he went with Kyle Whittingham up to Washington or up to Michigan.
We don't even remember his name.
He doesn't matter.
Jason Beck, I believe.
No, not the offensive line coach.
Offensive
That's the offensive coordinator.
Oh, sorry, the offensive live coach, right?
Yeah,
right,
Jim
right.
Harding.
There it is. There it is.
Jim Harding is the offensive coordinator or the offensive line coach.
There it is.
That just sorry guys, it's been a while, man. I'm tripping all over myself. But yeah, obviously he's been building these, great offensive line players, and I think signing Jordan Gross just shows them, yeah, we're continuing to build product and push guys into the NFL. So really exciting for the U.
Yeah, very exciting. On3 had him as the 5th overall in his class, by the way. Second offensive tackle, only to Jackson Cantwell, who signed with Miami.
Yeah.
So when we talk about highly, touted player of his class, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much higher than that.
Yeah, top 5. When it comes to an offensive tackle and you're the second in the country, that's a big deal.
Pretty impressive.
That's a big deal. And not to see all the whole thing get thrown away simply because of the coaching change, which we'll get into in a minute, is pretty cool to see. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below regarding your University of Utah football. Are you excited for Kelvin? We want to hear from you guys. Let us know what your thoughts are. We do have a comment here from McKinley Cutler. We've got glad to see the Utes restocking the team after Wits ransacked the program. For sure. Even BYU, too. They took a couple of their coaches, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Need the Utes to go... need the Utes to be good for the rivalry to be fun. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Looking forward to, I just think it's better for the Big 12 if both Utah schools are having a good season. This was a great season.
It was
both Utah programs had a winning record. For the Utes, it was just unfortunate they lost the only 2 games they couldn't lose. We were talking about this before a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
If the Utes lost to
Arizona
but beat Texas Tech, they would have been in the Big 12 playoff game.
Yeah.
But if they lost to Texas Tech but beat BYU
in the Big 12 playoff,
yeah. They still just lost the 2 teams they weren't supposed to lose to.
You can't lose those ones.
Yeah, and congrats for BYU for getting it done and having another great year. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Another comment here from McKinley Cutler. They lost the defensive coordinator and the skills coach, but kept all their players. Thank goodness. Yeah, I was surprised to see that Devon Dampier signed, agreed to another year. I was actually surprised to see that. I thought he would follow Jason Beck.
So I was not as surprised because the University of Michigan has Bryce Underwood, who is like
that's true.
Devon Dampier on steroids. I mean, he's faster. He's a better passer. He's that same style quarterback. He fits perfectly into the Jason Beck offense. Absolutely perfectly. And originally it was thought that Bryce Underwood was going to leave because of the offensive coordinator changes. But he ends up staying. And I think that's why it took so long for Devon Dampier to really make his decision to stay with the U. Obviously, he's going to want to talk with his new offensive coordinator and see what the quarterback's coach is going to look like. And, he's going to do his homework on the incoming coaching staff. He knows what he has with the outgoing coaching staff. But also, what does Michigan have player-wise? Is he going to be competing for a starting spot? And with Bryce Underwood staying, he's not going to be starting for sure. He might be competing for a starting spot, but that's a tough get. So
yeah, no, absolutely, man. More to talk about in the off season about all that, and
so much.
It's going to be fun, guys. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on to our next subject here, and this was one that you brought up actually, which is actually a great topic to discuss because. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about our bird boy, man.
Yeah, Birdman.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Bird Ficklin.
So what do you want to talk about here? Why don't you set the stage for this one?
So what I want to know, and I want your guys' opinion, so tune in, hit the comments down below.
They already tuned in, they're watching.
Tune in again. I don't care.
Chime in. I think is the word.
Chime in. That works. That works. But let me know what you guys think. I think that there is a legitimate chance that Bird Ficklin could compete for the starting job at the University of Utah.
Okay. Run your line. Let me hear it.
Bird Ficklin had a fantastic season last year. He started in 1 game. Yeah. Right. And it was obviously only the game that Devon Dampier was hurt.
Right.
But in those games in all the games that he played, he had 513 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns. He was 21 for 35 for 301 yards and 3 passing touchdowns.
No interceptions.
No interceptions. And this guy really just made an immediate impact as a true freshman, straight out of high school, out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. Bird Ficklin came in and made it happen. This guy's the real deal. And he will, I think that, I mean, in my heart, obviously, Devon Dampier is just a more seasoned player. But I think at some point you have to look and say, does Bird deserve a chance? You know what I mean? If Devon falters at all, does Bird deserve a chance to start in football games?
Well, the short answer is yes. I think he is going to get a chance to start, but not for the reasons you thinking.
Yes.
Devon Dampier's style of play does not ensure a healthy season. Even you saw nothing but article after article going into the bowl game about how beat up Devon Dampier was going into that game, and people were wondering if he was even going to play. You know, it's like he only missed one game, right, as a starter, but you gotta. It's his last season of eligibility, right, Devon Dampier? I think it's his last year.
I think he might have 2 more.
He does have 2.
I think he's got 2 more. Yeah, I think he's.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Let us know in the
I'd have to double
comments
check
down
that.
below.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, he had a great year health wise last year.
Yeah.
For his style of play, I don't expect that to happen again.
Yeah.
I think he might miss a game or 2. And honestly, man, I think Bird Ficklin does have the opportunity to really kind of not only start a few games, but really kind of shine and basically cement his place as being, you know, the QB1 going forward. Do I think he
surpasses Devon in his time? Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't think this year.
So
if Devon Dampier is healthy this year, and let's say he goes down for a game or 2 with some reason, like a hip issue or something like that, whatever bothers him usually. Let's say he goes down for a game or 2 and Bird just balls out, right?
Yeah.
Like we're talking about, just going crazy. Similar to the 301, 3 TDs, no interceptions, high QBR rating. Let's say he's just dominating, right?
Yeah.
And Devon Dampier is ready to come back. I don't know enough about Morgan Scalley's head coaching philosophy to understand whether or not he thinks somebody should lose their starting position because of injury. I don't know. What do you think?
I think there's not a chance.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Bird's a fantastic player, and I think that he will have an extended role in this offense this year as it is. He's great, and there's so many situations. I believe we'll see more Bird Ficklin packages than ever before. I think we'll see a lot of packages where you put Bird in and defenses immediately cue on a run play because of his athleticism and because of his 61 rushing attempts and 513 yards. Like, this guy gets the ball and he is electric with the ball in his hands. But he's also a competent passing quarterback. And I think you can catch defenses off guard. I think he can go in. I think you can run a fake run play and throw the ball. I think we'll see much more. The new offensive coordinator, Kevin McGivern, is crafty like that. He does like to throw some special plays in there. I watched quite a few Utah State football games this year, and they did run more trick plays than I've seen. So I think it'll be excellent to see Bird in this situation. I don't necessarily think that he's going to ever overtake Devon Dampier for the starting position, but I do think that Bird will see more playing time last year than he did this year.
I'd have to agree with you, just simply because they have to, right? It's a different time in college football. This is a guy who had interest from all P4 conferences.
Every single one
of them before he signed in December as well. So I would think in this day and age, in this kind of college football landscape of NIL and all that stuff, you kind of have to. You can't let a guy sit back there.
And keep in mind, Utah was the only Power 4 school to offer him out of Muskogee High School.
Right. So I think there's a little bit of loyalty that he's given there. Yeah. Knowing that he left some money on the table.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You love to see it. So hopefully he does get an opportunity, and we love to see that for sure. Got a comment here from McKinley Cutler. I think it would be cool to see a shared starting lineup where they line up together. Oh, okay. And that's just kind of a running back.
Part quarterback, yeah. And they switch up to now to throw two. Just what I was just saying. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because that would make sense. Because, he does have, Devon Dampier does have the legs, to run the ball.
That's a really tough backfield. I mean,
Yeah,
what are you going to do in that situation? You can hand the ball off. You can't just play off the running back. You have to respect, even if he hands it off, that he's going to be able to throw the ball.
Yeah, you don't know who's going to throw. Yeah, man, that's actually a very good point. Very, very
Love
good
that,
point.
McKinley.
It's usually is a statement if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's like the famous saying there.
Yep.
If you have two QB1s, you have zero. So the fact that but in that scenario, I think there's actually some room for that. So that's interesting. We're gonna have to chew on that one and continue talking about that.
We got lots of time to talk about it. We got 9 months till football starts.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. It's be interesting. I love it. All right, so there is one more thing we wanted to talk about. I think it's funny how I go to reach for my screen too, even though I don't have to, because you reach for your screen, so I feel like I have to reach for my screen.
It's my
too.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we did want to kind of break it down because we did talk a little bit about it earlier in the show, but we haven't really kind of dived into it too much here. And I think this is the time where we want to let this one breathe. And again, please let us know your thoughts in the chat there. If you're watching this live on our live stream, Kyle Whittingham to Michigan. Now, we've all had some time to digest on this for a little over a month now.
Yeah.
And, while it's great, we did both see this being the last year that Kyle Whittingham was going to be a coach at Utah.
We did.
However, we did not think the reason why he stepped aside is the reason why he did. We thought it was similar to the way, Nick Saban exited, just the way the college football game is now. Yeah. It's more about a professional type option where you're going with who's paying the most. And these guys typically don't want to listen to a coach when they're getting paid millions of dollars to play football for 4 months.
Yeah.
So we thought it was going to be something similar to that, but boy, were we wrong.
We were.
Yeah. By him taking this deal with Michigan, that basically just kind of let us know that Witt was not done coaching. He was just done coaching here.
Correct.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think that Coach Witt had to make a decision, and I personally believe that the school told him that they would like to move forward with Coach Scally, because Coach Scally is...
You don't name a coach in waiting.
He's getting offered jobs every single year at the end of the season.
Yeah. You don't mention a coach in waiting if you don't have that plan.
Exactly.
You're not, subconsciously telling your head coach, hey, when you're done, this guy's going to be next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to even go the next step further and say, hey, Coach Scally, we want you to help us assemble the offensive coordinator, the coaching staff for future years, because when Coach Witt's done, we want to make sure that you're set up for success in the best way possible.
Yeah.
And they do. They let him. He helped select Jason Beck as the new offensive coordinator. And then when Coach Witt leaves, boom, it all falls to shambles.
Yeah.
So obviously Coach Witt goes on to take Morgan Scally and...
Not Morgan Scally.
Sorry, not Morgan Scally. He goes on to take Jason Beck and Micah Simmons and, pretty much every offensive coach that they had besides Mark Atuia, who's the running back coach. He annihilates the coaching staff. He takes some of the, John Henry Daly. Who else did he take as far as players? John Henry Daly, Smith Snowden.
Yeah, I was going to say Snowden, but I don't know. That's not the only two, though. I think there was more than two.
Yeah, there's a couple more. There's a defensive tackle, I think. Mata, maybe. But so obviously he takes some players with him. He takes some coaches with him. And now Morgan Scally's left to rebuild this team really the way that he wanted to, whether he thought that he was going to get those players. Yeah. So on the Coach Witt situation, I don't know. I guess I'm just not that mad about it.
No, I'm not mad about it because we didn't lose our QB1.
Correct.
While we did lose our offensive coordinator, I mentioned this to you privately, didn't mention on the show because I want to make a video out of it. But I didn't think Jason Beck would be here more than a year anyway.
Yeah,
I thought he would, because I thought he was en route to get a head coaching job right out of the gate. I thought he was that much of a, kind of that. he had that kind of interest about him already.
Yeah.
Like when you're seeing articles pop up, and before the team even takes a snap on how long he's going to be at Utah before he gets the big headset, I just didn't think he was going to be here longer than a year, maybe two, as an offensive coordinator before he got a head coaching job somewhere. So I think maybe taking a stepping stone on being an offensive coordinator in the Big 12 is probably like another step. I wouldn't be surprised to see him be there for maybe a year, maybe two before he moves on to a head coaching gig.
Right.
So I wasn't really surprised. So that didn't shock me too much. We knew Morgan Scalley was going to be the head coach. We knew, we're going to lose a whole bunch of players and a whole bunch of coaches if he left. So I do think I'm not really mad about it. I think it was time. But to Kilmer 11's point here, to lose a legendary coach, it went as well as it could have.
Exactly.
Could not have said it better myself. And honestly, dude, we got to set aside time on a future episode to really kind of give Coach Witt his flowers for the time that he spent here with this club. Because, you realize there's been 4 or 5 sitting presidents since Coach Witt was head coach of the University of Utah football.
And the thing is Coach Witt stayed and rode the wave through different conferences and ups and downs and losing seasons. And, this 11-2 season that we just finished on, that is a great way to end his career. And an 11-2 season is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you wanted a Big 12 championship before it happened? Absolutely. But,
yeah.
You can only get what you can get.
But if you can go to Michigan and win a Big 10 championship, you're going to take that any day, right?
Oh, yeah.
You go to Michigan and you're now competing for national championships.
You're getting a paycheck.
You're going to get an auto bid you can finish
third,
fourth in the conference and still get an auto bid in the Big 10.
You could not play in the title game and make it.
Exactly.
Which is insane.
Which in the Big 12, that's just unheard of, right?
That's another thing we need to talk about when it comes to college football, because I think that kind of ruins it. I mean, you're getting a national title, a national champion, not this year, obviously, but a national champion could win who didn't even go to their conference championship game. And I just think that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. How about Miami playing for the national championship and they didn't even play in their conference championship game?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to throw on here when it comes to the Coach Witt and how it all went down, and we talked about, we thought he would be done because he was retiring. Turns out he's not done. I'm an avid listener of The Drive with Spence Checketts on ESPN 700. And he's been avid about this on saying that saying it without saying it is how I put this in my notes here, is that the money seemed to no longer support a Witt-led team. They were no longer willing to shell out the money for players with Witt as the head coach. And I talked to you about this once. It was during the BYU-Utah game. And as one of the people with one of the donors with a name on the side of their building, shouldn't have a hard time guessing who it is. You take 3 guesses, you'll probably get it. When they were asked about how BYU was able to beat Utah, and this donor leaned over to Spence Checketts and said, "Field goals matter," and that was the statement that kind of let him know that the money was no longer necessarily behind Coach Witt.
Yeah,
the money wanted to see a change, and I think that's why you probably saw the writing on the wall there, where the University of Utah made sure we named a coach in waiting to make sure Scalley didn't go elsewhere, and. Yeah, basically kind of just put the position where they are. Is Coach Witt a legendary Utah football coach? Absolutely. Is there anybody that's, can be able to say that they got back-to-back Pac-12 championships, under their belt in Utah? Absolutely not. Did he take us through the better part of 3 decades plus? Absolutely. But yeah, I definitely think it was time. And it was probably the best way that Coach Witt could go out shy of a Big 12 championship, in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, he had a great season to end, and I mean, coached some really, really good players, and Coach Witt will always be a legend. You couldn't say anything bad about him, and Morgan Scalley deserved the job. He deserved to step in and get the head coaching job now and mold this Utah team to kind of how he sees it. And I'm really, really excited about the future of this team with Morgan Scalley at the helm.
Yeah. I don't know if I think this is kind of what I want to talk about, McKinley. I don't know if you said that we kept saying Big 12 when we meant Big 10. That's probably possible. Again, this apple juice does get going pretty good. But Yeah, I do agree with you here that the Big 12 doesn't get any respect from the CFP.
Not at all.
You have to win your conference, and then depending on how well your season was up to that point, like if you are undefeated going into your college football, your conference championship, and you lose, then I think you'll get a bid. You'll get a chance to play.
Yeah.
If we have two undefeated teams going into their conference championship, right? Or
it's the only way, though.
It's the only way.
But realistically, and I'm obviously not a BYU fan, but the fact that Miami made the college football playoff over BYU, I don't know if I struggle to forgive the college football playoff.
Yeah, that one hurt, man. And
your only two losses are to a top 5 team in the country.
Yes, and I just no love for this conference, man. And
just none.
It's the the Pac-12 all over again. You know, it's like
it's an embarrassment.
It is. It really
it's an
is.
embarrassment.
It's unfortunate, and you know.
And I hope the college football playoff. From one of the articles that I just read, if the Big Ten and the SEC can agree, they could potentially move to a 24-team college football playoff next year.
Yeah, and
that's what it should be.
24. I think that's a little much.
No, 24. Bring them all on. If you're in the top 25,
I think
play them out.
I think you need to reduce the non-conference conference games you play.
You absolutely have to.
You should cut the season down to 10 games.
To make the 24-team playoff happen, you have to reduce some of those regular season games.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have non-conference play unless you're playing a Power 4 opponent.
Yeah, none of these give you games. Well,
it's the only reason it should be there.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have really 3 weeks of warm-up.
Yeah, I really hate to cut Weber State's funding for the next 5 years for doing that. But yeah, I agree with you there. Like there's, the haves and the have-nots. The have-nots can break off and do their own thing, but yeah, more time to talk about all this as we go on, for sure. Let's go ahead and jump into the comments here. We have another one here from Kilmer.
Yeah.
You got this one?
Yeah. It says, and how can you not be stoked for him, for him? He could have left Utah for big time jobs several times, but he stayed loyal to Utah, unlike Urban. Such a great point. Coach Witt was at the top of the coaching, rumors every single year because everyone thought that if a big time team came in and offered him all the money in the world, that he would jump out, and he stayed and he continued to stay. He had a couple rough seasons and he continued to stay. And only when, what we believe is the money at Utah said, maybe it's time to make a coaching change, did Coach Witt actually step away and say, okay, I'll step down?
Yeah. No,
I'm not done coaching, but I'm ready to step down.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I think that's spot on there, and that's a great way to end this segment on Utah. Again, folks, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you're watching this live on the live stream, keep it going, man. Keep the conversation going.
So much fun.
If you're watching this on YouTube after, keep in mind, folks, we did launch a channel specifically for your Utah football club called Utah Football DNA. It's a channel specifically dedicated to your Utah football. The channel will be linked in the description down below if you're watching this on our live stream. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening on the podcast after, link will be in the description down below where you can see a link to the
Go
channel.
hit that subscribe button. This is a great channel. Lots of good content coming.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about, let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk a little bit about the Utah Jazz, shall we?
Let's do it.
We do have an intro for this one.
We do.
Yeah. All right. Once again, folks, you're watching. Gosh, man, I'm tripping all over myself here. Got to get my legs underneath me again, AJ.
I know you're scrolling legs because you're just clicking all
over the place over here. Yeah, I have a solution to it. It's right up there, but I haven't installed it yet. I need somebody who's young and more hip than me to teach me how to use a Stream Deck. Anyway, folks, if you're watching us if you're watching this on our live stream or if you're watching this on YouTube after on our podcast or listening on our podcast, we have a channel specifically dedicated to your Utah Jazz called Utah Jazz DNA, a channel we have developed specifically for your Utah Jazz. A link to that channel will be in the description down below. If you're following us for our Utah Jazz content or you're watching this on our main channel, a link to that channel will be in the description down below. All right, man. So let's get into it. I really want to talk. You know what, McKinley, I'm on you for this one. You forgot to tell us that we did not change our color. Whoops, wrong button.
Dude, we're so out of practice. That's usually my job between segments.
Yeah. Well,
fail.
Oh wow, I just went past all the colors. There we go. That's close enough.
Utah Jazz purple.
We'll go with the purple for sure.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, again, in the comments, folks, if you're listening, if you're watching this live on our live stream, please jump in the comments. Let us know what your thoughts are for what we're talking about here, and we'll definitely get into that. Respond to any of your comments and as we go through here. We got any dirt bike content?
It's got to be.
I don't know.
No, Tanner, that's on you, man. We'll get you set up, get you a little page going, and you can do all the dirt bike content if you want, man.
That's right, man. Absolutely. Just hit us up and just email us, dude. We'd totally be all over it. I don't know. Is Tricky Ricky still racing? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay. Excite Bike 64 all day. All right. So we want to talk a little bit about your Utah Jazz. We got a couple of subjects we want to jump off of. First, we need to do a little bit of Utah Jazz salute to Jusuf Nurkic, man.
What about this guy, man?
Oh my gosh. So he is the first player in Utah Jazz history to score a triple-double on 3 straight consecutive games. Despite this, the team has gone 1-2 in those last 3 games, which, as you could tell, I'm very pissed off. They actually won a game out of those 3 because what are you guys doing? Unless you're competing for the play-in, why are you even trying to win a game? But yeah, the Jazz are giving us something to cheer. The Jazz are giving their fans something to cheer about, man. I think that's all we can really ask at this point. And I think this is exactly something that we should be celebrating right now.
Dude, this team is actually, well, in some of their games, this team is really, really fun to watch. And Jusuf Nurkic is that reason, dude. I mean, in these last 3 games where he's had these triple doubles, he's been like, I was at one of them and I didn't even realize he had a triple double because when you're at the arena, you're not watching the stats like you are and no one's telling you about it.
Boy, was it a sweet.
But in that game, he's just all over the place, man.
This dude was in a sweet Jazz game. Just baller over here.
Shout out to my awesome wife and getting us sweet tickets to the Jazz game. So
awesome.
But it was really fun. And as you're watching, you're like, Nurkic is everywhere. Like he's getting rebounds. His assists just kept climbing. Like his backdoor passes were just on point. Guys getting easy buckets. Yeah. We go on to win that game against the Timberwolves.
Yeah. You were at the game. And I think I remember like Jusuf Nurkic with triple double, man. And you're like, yeah, I was at the game and I had no idea that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause you don't have the announcers in your ear, you know, like saying, oh, we're on triple double watch or anything like that. I'm just, yeah, this is sweet. This is a good game.
So cool, man. You love to see it, but at the same time, you're like, what's this guy doing? We're not trying to win games, AJ.
But also, when did he get, like, has he always, and I don't know.
Yes,
I've known of him. Has he always been this proficient of a passer?
Yes, he just hasn't been utilized correctly.
Yeah.
And that is something I want to say for a future episode. In fact, we're going to talk about it next week because this is something that's been burning in my loins for like 2 years that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Don't mean to get graphic on here, YouTube. Just be careful with me. There's a subject I want to talk about when it comes to the Jazz and their road to victory.
Yeah.
That I think is the most important thing. And Jusuf Nurkic is another example of that. But yeah, nothing but love for Jusuf Nurkic. I think that's amazing what he's been doing. And yeah, love to see it. Love to have it keep going for him.
You know what's really funny? Sorry, I had my notes from the last time we did an episode, and we were talking about like the roster and how we played out where we thought some of these players were going to be, and I had Jusuf Nurkic behind Walker Kessler, and it was funny how things have changed. I didn't even have Kevin Love on the roster because at that point we thought he was for sure being traded.
Yeah, we actually had an episode about it. Like we even talked about like why the heck is Kevin Love
still here? Like what are
Kyle
the Jazz
Anderson?
doing?
I could have sworn neither of those guys would ever touch the court in a Jazz uniform.
And they're actually becoming really key pieces to some of, and I think I really do believe that some of these vet guys are some of the reason that we're seeing the Keontae George emergence.
This Mike had too much whiskey already.
That's too much. And that'll lead us directly into our next portion.
Yes, it should, because we've got we've got a comment here directly from McKinley Cutler on that. Key finally living up to Donovan Mitchell 2.0 comps. Yes, we talked about that DNA OG McKinley, you were around when we were talking about that during our draft talk where we drafted Keontae.
Absolutely.
And we talked about how this guy could have a meteoric rise just like Donovan Mitchell. And that's who we want to talk about here. And we'll definitely get to the rest of your comments on that one. But Keontae George, man, we can't not talk about him on our first episode back. Keontae George averaging 24.4 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, 6.6 assists, and a little over 1 steal a game. Most importantly, AJ, his field goal efficiency is up by 5 points over last year, 5 percentage points.
And it's because he's taken more shots that are in his range. If you look at Keontae George over the last 2 seasons, he took more contested 3-pointers, which led to obviously less efficient shots. He didn't have as much space to shoot these shots. He shot them at a lower clip. And this season, because he is moving with the ball better, and you have some veteran guys that can shoot the 3 ball. I mean, Kevin Love is 162 years old, but you still can't leave him alone on the 3-point line.
No.
Because he'll torch you.
Yeah.
And he's shown it. There's been multiple games where he's just gone off and made a bunch of 3-point shots. And you've got Lauri Markkanen out there sometimes. You've got, guys that are known as 3-and-D players like Taylor Hendricks that, again, you can't just leave him sitting out there.
No.
And it's helping. His 3-point percentage over the last couple seasons has grown. This year, he's shooting 37.3% from 3, which is a very respectable number. Now you can't leave Key out there by himself because he's going to knock it down.
Yeah. I think it's amazing to watch. And when you talk about his offseason development, I think this was key. This is see what I did there.
Oh,
yeah,
a pun maybe.
Yeah, totally on purpose. But no, when we talked about Keontae, we've been kind of harsh on him over last year of not seeing any development from him. He even got put to the bench by Coach Hardy simply because of his lack of effort on defense. He's like, if you're going to be this bad efficiently on offense, you got to be a lockdown defender. And he wasn't. So he had a heart-to-heart going into the offseason with Coach Hardy. He says, this is what you need to improve on. And I think that's what you talked about on that was key here. And I wanted to talk about that part. I did it again. But the point that I wanted to mention on was the shot selection.
Yeah.
On what the efficiency was. He was watching a lot of tape on Kyrie Irving and not just settling for those contested threes, realizing he's got a chance to work out of that and get a mid-range jump shot that he can knock down.
Yeah.
Or roll off a screen a little bit easier and get, how to get off
and
the
take
screen.
that shot in space, right?
Yes.
You're moving off your screener and you're moving into that mid-range shot that you're not getting defended from the center yet. You're moved past the screen for the 3-point shot. You've got that nice 10-foot jumper, and he's taking open shots and knocking them down. And now that he's gained some confidence in shooting those shots, he's deadly from that range.
Yeah.
He's good to go down and back players, down and get to his spot and take good shots. Obviously he's driving up his assist numbers. Over the last 3 years, it's grown from 4.4 to 5.6 to 6.6 this season. He's distributing the ball because, and all these things work together, right? As his field goal efficiency goes up, teams, he's almost commanding more defensive players, and he's taking advantage and making the right basketball play. And he's just been, he is the funnest player to watch when he's out on the court.
KG3. I coined it here on the show for sure.
He did. Right. And actually, right as they announced his number, you
yeah, I'm just like, dude,
Cue
that's
it right up,
good.
man.
It is. That's what I want $1 anytime anybody says it. Now, when it comes to that, I want to bring this up. Does he become an all-star this year?
He won't. Not this year. Does he deserve to? Very possibly.
These are all-star level numbers.
I totally agree.
But because he plays in Utah.
But he plays in Utah. And to have, if he does the same thing and the Jazz have a mediocre or even a good season next year, he'll be an all-star. It took for Donovan Mitchell to get there, the Jazz needed to have a good season. And then the Jazz had a better season and he was an all-star again. And actually in that season, it was Rudy and Donovan that made the all-star team. So it takes your team winning. You can't just be on a bad team with good numbers and make the all-star game necessarily. And the Jazz, I guess the part that's tough for me to say there is the Jazz are not a bad team. They are playing at a level to position themselves in the draft so that they can be where they want to be.
Yeah, as it sits right now.
You know what I mean?
Their odds are to be the 6th position. in the draft lottery right now, which is interesting.
Which is perfect because I'm pretty sure that's exactly where the Mavericks were last year.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Gosh, can you imagine having this Darren kid on that team?
This
Darren on the point guard. Keontae
this team is one young superstar away from being really good, I think.
Yeah.
Like
we're not even talking play-in. We're talking solidifying a spot in the West.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with you on that one, man. Yeah, selection is for the reserves is February 1st on Sunday, so we will find out.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't say more about Keontae George than what we talked about here because we talked about the draft and how important it was for when, Taylor Hendricks was coming back, right, from injury. We're like, he's got to do well because Keontae George, who we had high hopes for after his rookie year, was supposed to be the player that came out of that draft as the win for that first year of tanking.
Because he was the steal, right?
Yeah. Taylor Hendricks was supposed to be the player we got that was supposed to work out. Yeah. But we need at least one of those two to work out. I'm glad that Keontae has figured it out in season 3. I do want to hit a few of these comments here that we got from McKinley because I think they're great here. First one is going to be here. He's arguably having a better third season than Donovan has as a Jazz man. I'd have to agree with you on that one. The only thing we're going to see here is that unless he gets selected to the All-Star game, that's going to be the rub there.
Yep, absolutely.
I did think Donovan Mitchell participated in the skills challenge the year before. Did Keontae participate in the skills challenge?
He did not.
No, I can't remember or not. We also have a comment here. Yusuf Nurkic now in third place for the players' most triple doubles as a Jazz man.
With 3.
Yeah. He's also in third place for the most triple doubles by a center in NBA history.
Yes, I saw that.
That is insane. Third place all time, which is insane. Let's see here. He's always been a good passer. They don't get direct. They don't get to direct the offense.
On a team with Booker and Kevin Durant and a team with Dame and CJ McCollum.
Correct. Yeah, definitely not. But I think he's being utilized here better in Utah than he has with any other team.
Yeah.
That's going to be nothing but praise to Coach Hardy there. It's been both fun and incredibly frustrating to see that game. I think against the Pistons, Pistons where love went 4 for 5. Yeah.
Yeah, and the reasons we won a game we needed to lose.
Yeah, exactly. It's unfortunate. It hurts, but Nurk sets a mean screen. Really love to see that about his game. It's really easy. I think it's really is helpful. Key and Ace get to their shots and find places to get efficient shots, which actually is going to lead us into our next thing here. Let's go ahead and hit that last comment here. I imagine that the Pelicans passed up by the Pelicans passed us up by the end of the year, and they are the only teams that have less than last 25 games that are still trying to
be worse.
Worse.
Yeah, which makes sense. But I think the Jazz are trying to position themselves right in the point where they don't have to get that draft pick up because it's top 8 protected, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, if it falls underneath 8,
then they keep it.
Yeah, which depending on where they end on the draft, that might be where, like as it sits right now, if they are in the 6th position, the first they can fall is 8.
Right.
So where they're at right now is the least that they want to be. But ideally they'd like to move up. This draft is top 3 player heavy, and then there's another 4 or 5 players that are good after that. But you've heard the main ones. You got that Darren Kidd, you got Cam Boozer, and you also have AJ DeBanza as well. So after those 3, it kind of tails off a little bit, but there's still pretty good talent after that. But we'll see. We want to know what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think as far as how the Utah Jazz are playing. Before we jump into that here, there's one more thing we want to talk about, which is Ace Bailey. There's some articles there that are being mentioned there that Ace Bailey got snubbed by not being awarded to the the Rising Stars team for the NBA this year as a rookie. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they snubbed him. I think Ace Bailey's had a fantastic season as a rookie. The Jazz have played, as of time recording, there's actually a game on right now, but 47 games up to this point. He's played in 40 of them. He has missed 5, 6, 7 games from injury. But in 24 minutes, he's shooting 45% from the field, 34% from 3, 72% from the free throw line, and the guy's scoring 11 points in a game. And I think all of these stats say one thing, but Ace Bailey has been such a pleasant surprise as far as the energy that he brings when he steps onto the court. This kid plays really, really hard. And his decision-making is rookie level, but that's expected out of a rookie. He's learning very quickly. He's evolving with the game. He makes players better around him. He should have been in the Rising Stars Challenge.
Yeah, the key shot against that is the fact that he's missed some games. But it's only been 7 games.
7. And he's played in 40.
Yeah, 7 games. Due to a hip flexor issue, he came back, missed another 2 games after. So he missed 5, came back, tried to play, missed another 2 games after that. And I think all those were in January.
Yeah.
Like,
but also, like, this is your prized rookie that you just spent a 5 overall pick on, and you're not trying to win. Like, you're obviously not going to rush him back on the floor. If you're in a playoff race, okay, maybe you make him, you suggest he plays through a little bit of discomfort, but the league knows this. You know what I mean? Like,
I think this is two-pronged. I think, one, the league knows what's going on, and they are continuing to punish the Jazz for not playing their players.
Yeah.
I think it's a big thing. And I think this may be a little bit of lingering over his pre-draft drama that he was going through.
Just not wanting to deal with it, you think?
I just think the voting committee decided that, the issues they had with him in the pre-draft where, his, not even his agent, but his manager was making decisions for him and saying, you're not going to Utah and not interviewing with, not trying to.
Whom he fired.
Right. I think he did everything right after that, but I think this is just a little lingering, gotcha from those folks making those decisions.
Yeah.
And again, I think the league's just trying to punish Utah as much as they can for not trying to win games. But, there's teams out there that are doing a far worse job. But, yeah, let's go ahead and just keep beating up on Utah because, they're the only teams that can't beat back, right? So you got to love it. You got to love it. I got another comment here. He says, I think fair or not, the Jazz having 2 nationally televised games hurts his chances.
It's a great point.
Fair point. Absolutely. But, to AJ's point there, like, this was one of the key people that were supposed to go potentially, top 3 in the draft. He was one of the people in the room. The fact that he fell to Utah in the first place was kind of a shock. And it was only because of his attitude that he fell that far.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. Not having any nationally televised games probably doesn't help for sure.
But that's also the league picking on Utah again because Ryan Smith signed the SCG media deal.
Yeah, and decided.
And he's like, we're going to put all the games on Jazz. You're going to have 2 games that we're not going to put on there.
Yeah, which you can bid for, and that's all you get. Which used to happen all the time. It used to be one of those things where it would be on the regional sport network, or it'd be nationally televised, or you'd have it locally and nationally televised. Who cares if a nationally televised game is on a local channel? I don't know why TNT.
There's
or
2
ESPN
different broadcasts either way. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they would care. But anyway, we can talk about that for hours. Let's go ahead and move on. Once again, folks, we want to hear from you and let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. We did just launch a channel but we have a channel that we launched for your Utah Jazz called Utah Jazz DNA. A link to that channel will be in the description if you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, or you're listening to the podcast. Check out the description for a link to Utah Jazz DNA. All right, man. What do you say we jump into our last sport conversation, which is Major League Baseball?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, first of all, man, again, love to be back talking a little bit about baseball. And again, I think I heard a saying that we are 20 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training. 20 days away. That's nuts.
That seems really crazy to me.
It is.
Didn't baseball just get over?
Yeah, and my heart's.
I guess 182 games is a lot, though.
Yeah, my blood pressure's still trying to recover. But
that's because it went to Game 7.
It did go to Game 7 and extra innings. Yeah, which is crazy. Did you know that Will Smith caught more games in a World Series than any catcher in baseball history? He caught every inning of the World Series, and that includes an 18-inning game and an 11-inning game. That's nuts.
He caught like a whole extra game.
Yeah.
Just in extra innings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I mean, the legend of Will Smith continues, right?
It really does.
We've mentioned we talked about him a few times on the channel.
Yeah, and every time we talk about it, it's name your kid Will Smith. He's got a chance to make the World Series.
Exactly. All right. Well, we wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about Major League Baseball here, but we wanted to talk a little bit about the best team in baseball in 2026.
Of course, Darren wants to talk about the best team. Every single time, Darren wants to go in here and just right from the start. Let's talk about the best team. Okay, fine, Darren. I understand. You got 9-time All-Star Freddie Freeman, 8-time All-Star Mookie Betts. You got 4-time All-Star Kyle Tucker. Why, nobody knows.
Sign him too.
5-time All-Star Shohei Ohtani. You got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. You got Blake Snell. You got Max Muncy, Tyler Glasnow. Do I need to keep going?
Keep
we
going,
get
man.
it, Darren.
Keep going.
We get it. Okay.
You
The
forgot
Dodgers.
you forgot to mention his 4 MVPs, Ohtani.
The Dodgers are the best team in baseball. Okay, we get it.
Okay. Well, I love hearing that. AJ, I think you're wrong, sir. And it's coming from a Dodgers fan. I think you're wrong. The Dodgers are not the best team in baseball going into 2026. Do you know who the best
team to take the field?
Yes.
Okay.
The best team to take the field in 2026 is going to be the World Baseball Classic Team USA.
Dude, this roster is insane. It's insane. Have you guys seen this?
Oh my gosh, we gotta talk about it.
Chime into the comments. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Let's talk about let's start with the DH.
Yeah.
Let's start there. Okay, so the Team USA has probably one of the best. If your name is not Shohei Ohtani, the best DH that's in the National League, and Kyle Schwarber. That's your DH. We're starting there, folks. Now let's go ahead and talk about the infield. Basically, the fielding players they have. We've got the Captain America, Aaron Judge. Right, he was one of the first players to announce that he's going to be playing for Team USA. We also have Gunnar Henderson, star player from the Baltimore Orioles.
My pick for MVP last year.
Your pick, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sorry, Judge took that from you. We also have Bobby Witt Jr.
Actually, maybe Bobby Witt was my pick for MVP. It might have been Bobby Witt.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you went Bobby Witt Jr.
It's on the internet. You can check it out.
Yeah.
Scroll down or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, you picked him for Home Run Derby champion 2 years ago. I think that's what it was. Anyway, so Bobby Witt Jr. is on this team. Corbin Carroll is on this team. You may not know who Corbin Carroll is, but we'll get into why that's because he plays for Arizona and nobody's a Diamondbacks fan. But we also have P. Crow Armstrong. PCA.
Yeah.
Alex Bregman, Bryce Terang, and Byron Buxton. So that's the infield and the outfield. And by the way, you also have your catchers. You have who we just talked about, Will Smith.
Yep.
And we also have Cal Raleigh.
Big dumper.
Himself.
Yeah.
Runner-up MVP in the American League.
Set the MLB record with 60 home runs as a catcher and a switch hitter.
Yeah. Switch hitting catcher, dude. That is your infield, your outfield, your DH for this team. Dude, it's insane. It's insane. Before we go any further, let's stop there and let's talk about the outfield. Okay. You got P. Crow Armstrong.
Yep.
You've got Byron Buxton, right? And then you also have Corbin Carroll, right? Just those three guys. And let's not forget one about the best outfielders out there, unless it's in the World Series, Aaron Judge. You know, these guys, there's not a ball that they're not going to get to.
Yeah.
That's an unstoppable outfield. You better, if you find grass in the outfield, you had to hit a liner down the line or a gapper, because those guys are getting to the ball. That is insane, man. That outfield is insane. And you also have Bobby Witt Jr., great shortstop. Infielder, you have Alex Bregman is probably your third baseman. Second baseman, you have Bryce Terang from the Brewers, which is fine. He's good. But we got Gunnar Henderson, who's probably playing, third or first, somewhere around there. But, yeah, dude, that Byron Buxton, Aaron Judge, and Corbin Carroll. There's so much speed out in the outfield. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
Why don't you go in and talk about the pitchers?
This pitching staff, dude. Like, you think of a World Baseball Classic and you're like, okay, like we're gonna have some good talent out there for Team
Do you
USA.
remember who our best pitcher was last year?
I don't. Well, it was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, last year. Yeah, so last time we had the World
Last
Baseball Classic,
WBC, yeah.
we had Lance Lynn and I think Presley and like one other pitcher that's escaping me now, but they're not even the aces on their own team.
Right. These are just pitchers.
No disrespect.
Yeah. But this year,
this year's different.
World Baseball Classic rounds up Tarek Skubal,
AL Cy Young,
2-time defending Cy Young winner, Tarek Skubal.
Yes.
And he is. The Tigers already have a dominant rotation, and he's the ace on this already dominant rotation.
So nuts.
Logan Webb from the Giants. He leads the MLB in innings. And, I mean, this guy's a Cy Young contender every single year.
Yeah. Yeah, gets outs, man.
Joe Ryan from the Twins. Nolan McLean from the Mets. Clay Holmes from the Mets. And Matthew Boyd. Those are the starting pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the bullpen, Clayton Kershaw.
The GOAT.
Your guy.
I mean,
the legend pick.
Yes.
Recently retired, but chooses to join Team USA for one final run. Everyone loves to see Clayton Kershaw.
Heck yeah, dude. I want him on the mound. It's going to be great. Going to love it.
But, I mean, they got Mason Miller, David Bednar, Garrett Whitlock, Garrett Clevinger, Griffin Jacks, Brad Keller, Gabe Spear. I don't know some of those guys, but I know that they're all weapons just because the way the rest of this roster's put together.
Yeah, dude. These aren't 3-inning guys, the starters.
Yeah.
They're going to go on out there for 4 innings, 5 innings.
Yeah.
This is their spring train tune-up. So this is going to be like they're going to pitch about 4 or 5 innings probably, and they're going to get a ton of swing and miss, a lot of whiff, and then you have Mason Miller who's throwing 100 plus miles an hour, in the bullpen. Clayton Kershaw, just a savvy veteran who's going to get you out, strike you out with a 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
And make you look silly.
Yeah. And just a curveball that looks like it's falling from the sky.
Yeah.
And you're just going to stare at it and watch it drop.
At like 72 miles an hour.
Right? If it gets up to that high. Yeah. It's just, dude, it's an amazing team. And I just want to talk about that for a second because this is a huge improvement from last year. Now, don't get me wrong. We had Mike Trout. We had Mookie Betts. We had some good talent on our team.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is kind of a push to show how much the WBC last year, with how it ended with the USA and Japan, with Ohtani and Trout being that last at bat.
One for the ages, by the way.
Yeah.
Our first video ever to hit 1,000 views.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was our
absolutely.
WBC video.
Yeah. We also had a short on it too that
Yeah.
also did well. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny how we started our channel covering the WBC and here we are now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting.
Breaking back into it.
Yeah.
Talking about WBC.
I just think it's a huge jump between this year and last year on the amount of interest. Now, as a Dodgers fan, I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about the fact that Yoshinobu Yamamoto, after throwing 1 billion innings and pitching the whole World Series himself practically, is going to be pitching for Team Japan in the
What about Shohei out there?
Shohei Ohtani, I don't know if he's pitching or not.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's been decided. So we'll see about that. If he's pitching, yeah, it's just going to raise my heart rate. But Roki Sasaki said no. He's not playing for Team Japan.
Oh, really?
Japan Samurai. He's not going to be there. He's going to stay with the Dodgers at Camelback Ranch to work on and getting him built back up as a starter. So, but yeah, I'm not happy to see half of our team going to the WBC for their teams. And then, especially I'm really concerned about Yamamoto. That's the one I'm really concerned about. You don't want that guy getting hurt. You don't want Ohtani getting hurt. So yeah, as a Dodgers fan, do I like seeing these players go to the WC? Absolutely not. But am I excited that USA is that we're actually fielding a team that we could be, not necessarily we couldn't be proud of other teams, but players that want to play on the teams that are willing to let their players go and perform in this tournament, and just seeing what Team USA can actually do in this instead of treating it like some kind of subpar tournament. I love it.
It's really cool to think that baseball started here. We're supposed to be, we house the world's greatest league for Major League Baseball.
Absolutely.
We should be able to field the world's greatest team in any major tournament.
Yeah.
And we actually probably did this year. This is one of the best WBC rosters ever assembled. And it's going to be so much fun to watch this team go out there, compete. They should be dominant.
Yeah.
And this is like the best kind of an all-star game because you're going to see the best players in the world playing in this tournament. And you get to watch an actual all-star team play in a competitive atmosphere. This is going to be so much fun to watch.
It's going to be so much fun to watch. And if you haven't followed WBC last time they're coming around, you definitely want to watch this time. Are we going to see an ending like we saw before? Probably not. We're probably not going to see that.
I don't know if there's going to be a dream ending like that. I mean, for Japan, obviously, not for USA, but
yeah. But yeah, just to see us throw trying to actually give our team a puncher's chance and really throw our best talent out. It was really great to see that we're doing that this year.
Yeah.
We got a comment here from a friend of the channel, Tammy Price, say it'll be great to watch. Absolutely, it will be. We're looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun.
We might need to live stream that.
We might have to. We might have to
just sit, watch the game together, live stream it.
Yeah.
Cheers, drink it. Yeah.
Have some apple juice and have a good time.
So much apple juice.
Yeah, so much apple
like a whole bottle.
Yeah. So chime in the comments. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. What do you think about Team USA and the World Baseball Classic? Are you happy for the World Baseball? Are you excited for the World Baseball Classic? Are you excited to see what Team USA can do this year? We want to hear from you. We made it all the way to the championship game last year. You know, hard to see that we can't do it again this year. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Next, we want to talk about, again, we can't go one episode without talking about the Dodgers. We kind of did already. You broke down the roster. But, and more serious, let's go ahead and bring this in. This is something we were going to talk about. We've actually made a few episodes on this on our channel already about how the Dodgers are ruining baseball. And this has been the talking point for the last, 3 weeks, however long it's been since the Dodgers signed Kyle Tucker, that signing confirmed a lockout.
Yeah.
Now, we were going to do an episode before we went on hiatus where we talked about how Ken Rosenthal put out an article talking about a lockout. Let me ask you this. Is this signing by the Dodgers the nail in the coffin for you on they're going to be in a lockout after next season?
I mean, at first glance, yes. I mean, at first glance, you think, how long is this going to go where teams are just allowed to sign players to these ridiculous contracts, defer contracts? But I mean, and especially as a player, right? You have no incentive to accept a salary cap as a player.
No,
we're here to make our money. And as an MLB owner, you're like, we have to get this under wraps at some point because
under control. Yeah.
Because the Dodgers are the face of this imbalance, right? They are everything that's wrong because everyone wants to play for them. They're going to pay you the most money. You're going to compete for a World Series.
Kind of hard to say no to that.
And what's happening is obviously we're just widening the gap between teams that are willing to spend and then everybody else. So at some point, obviously, it at first glance, yes. I mean, my opinion is yes. You'd think there's going to be a lockout coming.
Yeah. Well, in my argument there, I'd say the lockout was, and Ken Rosenthal said this as well, that there's a 90% chance that the lockout's going to happen. If this moved the needle at all, it only moved it by 10%. And you know what? Honestly, as a Dodgers fan, I have to say that I actually agree. I think the signing of Kyle Tucker is what put the nail in the coffin for a lockout after this season. Let me tell you why. Kyle Tucker is going to be making $60 million this year. Do you know who else is making $60 million or more this year?
I don't.
Not Aaron Judge.
Right.
Not Kyle Schwarber. I believe only Juan Soto. And if you fudge the numbers, yeah, maybe Ohtani is technically making more than that but he's only getting paid $2 million of them.
Yeah.
But if you adjust for the salary cap and the time value of money, he's not even making $60 million a year.
Right.
But you've got Kyle Tucker. Don't get me wrong. He's a great player, great outfielder. He's not worth $60 million a year.
No,
not even close. You know,
and he's what, 32 or something? He's
going to be 30.
Okay. He's a little younger than I thought he was. So
yeah.
He's in his prime at least.
Yeah. And he's not. And then on top of that, immediately after Kyle Tucker signed with the Dodgers, the Mets thought they had him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they immediately pivot and panic and sign Bobby Witt Jr. and give him a ridiculous contract where he's making $50 million a year.
He went to the Mets?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah. Right after that, he panicked. The Mets and Uncle Steve panicked and signed Bo Bichette to the Mets and paid him like $45-50 million. Tammy, a friend of the channel, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that, on the AAV for his contract. But yeah, this is a guy who he had a great postseason. You know, they were 2 inches away from that 3-run home run being what made him, which would have made him the World Series, hero for the Blue Jays. They were a cleat away from that being the case. But yeah, dude, he's not coming off of the fact that he could barely walk and his knee was all jacked up. He's not worth, $45-50 million a year. Some of this short-term high AAV and then deferring salaries. I could push back a little bit on that when it comes to like the Dodgers or the face of that. Yeah, they are. They're deferring almost $2 billion worth of salary, but they're not the only teams that are deferring money.
And in all fairness, the Dodgers didn't create this financial landscape, right?
Yeah.
Like all they're doing is exploiting the rules that are already in place.
Yeah.
All they're doing is saying, hey, this is within what the league says we can do. We're just doing it. Everybody else is free to do it.
Right. And we will talk about next week. We'll dive into the whole TV contract. We did a short on this one.
Oh, yeah.
But there's more to that story on the TV deal. The Dodgers actually have a better TV deal than any other team, not just money-wise, but
sure helps.
Because of the Frank McCourt era, they don't have to pay as much in competitive balance tax for that in shared revenue. We'll get into that in a future episode for sure. But yeah, I'd have to agree with you, man. There's got to be the only way that players will agree to a salary cap is if the salary cap is $350 million and the salary floor is $300 million.
Right.
That's the only way the players are going to agree to this. Because if you think about it, if the salary cap is like $250 million, guess who's going to still have the best team in baseball?
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the existing team. Who would you go to if all the money is the same? And all the teams can offer you, they all have the exact same salary cap, and all the teams can offer you the same amount of money. Where are you going to go to? You're going to go to the team that just won back-to-back World Series, that has the best chance to win a World Series, that has the best option to market you off the field. If everything's the same.
And especially if they're pursuing you.
Yeah.
And you legitimately, as a player, think you can contribute to a team that just won back-to-back World Series. Of course you're going to choose that team.
Yeah, unless you're getting like giving up a massive discount, they're still going to pay you the most money. You're going to the most winning team. Yeah, I don't know. It makes a whole lot of sense. We'll dive into more of that a little bit in the future there, but we just wanted to hit those couple subjects there. One last thing we want to get to before we wrap things up today is going to be, I want to talk a little bit about the Braves, dude.
Go Braves.
I want to talk a little bit about the National League playoff rankings, which I thought is really interesting. Because there's a few teams here that have the National League power rankings already out for 2026.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm surprised to see that the Atlanta Braves are ahead of some other teams. Right.
Yeah.
Now, I believe it was from The Athletic that I saw this, but the Atlanta Braves are actually third, and that is ahead of teams like the Philadelphia Phillies, the San Diego Padres. The only other teams that are ahead of them are the Dodgers, the Mets, then it's the Braves, and then it's the Padres and Phillies, and the Cubs. The Cubs are also below this, which is interesting.
Interesting, to say the least. Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a team that didn't make the playoffs last year.
Correct.
Weren't even close.
Mm-hmm. Missed it by a long shot.
The only reason why they made it into the playoffs the year before because of the last game. And a little bit of strategic winning and losing on the last game of the year.
Very strategic.
The year before. So what I want to do is I want to hear from a Braves fan. I want you to run your line on how you think, how would you defend this as why the Braves should be in the top 5 for the National League power rankings?
So there's one thing that's really key to them being in this position. Okay. And the Braves have to improve their health. The kind of baseline target for the Braves to win this year is 80, right? And to kind of be a breakout team, you have to win 10 games above your target wins at 80.
So 90-win team. Okay.
So a 90-win team. And I think that probability, projected on like some of these different websites, say there's a 60% chance that they're in that breakout target to win 90 games. The Braves struggled last year with health. And obviously losing Ronald Acuna Jr. absolutely just kills you. Mm-hmm. You get him back partway through the season. He doesn't play his best season. you're missing Spencer Strider throughout some of the season. That also hurts you. He comes back and has a great season. The Braves have a lot of, as far as pitching talent, we saw Spencer Schwellenbach really make strides. There was a point on this show on the internet that I said, who the hell is Spencer Schwellenbach and why is he pitching for the Braves? He came out and absolutely killed it last year.
That was awesome, by the way.
We still got Chris Sale, Spencer Strider. Grant Holmes really had a breakout season last year. We need to keep moving him in the correct direction. Reynaldo Lopez is still on the roster. He's kind of hit or miss. So Braves pitching is going to be a big thing to moving this team into that 90-win category. And having Spencer Strider healthy for a full season is going to help you. That's just what it is. Ronald Acuna Jr., being a previous MVP, this guy can play. He's going to make us better. And you still have Ozzie Albies and Matt Olson and Austin Riley. This is a very well put together baseball team. And if you can stay healthy for the majority of the season and you have MVP outfielders and guys like Matt Olson that can hit the ball and become all-stars, you got Ozzie Albies, who's just been fantastic on the infield, wherever you move him to, right? He plays second, he plays short, wherever you need him. This team has a lot of really good players, and all it takes is them just putting it together. And I think 90 wins is super attainable.
I agree with you, man. I think that 90 wins is super obtainable for this team. There are two things that I think are going to be the issue for the Braves going forward. One is they haven't proven that they can keep their team healthy.
Exactly.
If Acuna's playing, then two of their star pitchers are out, and Ozzie Albies out, and Harris is out, and Austin Riley's out. Yeah. But if Acuna's down, all those other players are healthy. Yeah. And I think this team lives and dies on whether or not Acuna is healthy and whether or not Strider is on the mound. I think those are the two things that the Braves need to have to make sure that this team, because if Acuna is on the field, then he's an MVP candidate every year.
Every time he steps on.
Yeah, stolen bases win MVPs. That's what we talked about.
We still got that shirt.
We need that shirt
so bad.
We need to get that shirt up.
Yeah.
I want that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the Braves need to prove to me that they can be healthy for a season. And, I think that's the only issue they have.
It is. That is 100% their issue. They have the talent on the roster to win 90 games. Can they all be healthy enough to win 90 games is the question.
Do you think a 90-win team makes it into the playoffs?
I think 90 wins gets you close. I think you're in playoff contention at least, right?
They had...
The thing is if you can get into the playoffs, you have enough pitching that you can make a run. If everybody's healthy, you've got enough.
The Diamondbacks made it to the World Series in an 87-win team.
Exactly.
So, but with the National League the way it is now, you got the Dodgers, obviously. You had the Brewers, who had the best record in baseball last year.
Mm-hmm.
Then in your division, you have the Mets, who just completely reloaded with all the star talent. You had the Phillies, who basically spent $300 million to re-sign their own players back, which is unfortunate to any Philly fans out there. He didn't really improve. But yeah, dude, your division, I don't see them winning the division. They have to hope for a wild card. And so that means you have to, whoever wins the division, the other team between the Phillies and the Mets are going to have the top wild card spot, in my opinion. And then from there, you got the Central, which the Cubs or the Brewers are going to win that division. And then the other team's going to get the wild card. So now you're saying that the San Diego Padres, the San Francisco Giants, and the Atlanta Braves, and the Arizona Diamondbacks are all going to have less wins than the Braves do.
I'm not saying it's not a stretch, okay? I didn't make the top 5 projections.
I'm just saying for making the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't care where they're at as far as power rankings. I'm just saying that's a lot for the Braves to overcome.
It's a lot to overcome. It is. But I think if you can stay healthy, you've got a chance.
Not only do I think they have a chance, I think they do it, man.
Yeah.
I think they're a playoff team. I think this Braves team is not the type of Braves team, especially the way how well it's ran.
Yeah.
To miss the playoffs 2 years in a row. That's just not that team.
Yeah.
They have juggernauts in front of them with the Mets spending money left and right, but they're not spending money right. They're spending money wildly, just like the Padres used to.
Yeah.
So I think not only do they have a chance to win, I do think that they have a chance to win their division. I think they're going to have, hot take, 96 wins this year.
Boom. You heard it here first.
We want to know what you think, folks. Let us know what the thoughts are in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you in regards to Major League Baseball. If you're watching this on our live stream, we have, this show every week. Join us for our live stream. Check us out. We love to talk baseball. Love to talk all local Utah sports.
Absolutely.
And, we'd love to hear from you, folks.
Okay.
Once again, folks, we really appreciate you all for watching us on the DNA Sports Recap on this episode. As a reminder, folks, if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button. We are giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button. We're giving 5 subscribers each $100 once we hit that number. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that giveaway.
If you're watching on YouTube, this is available as a podcast wherever you get your audio.
With all that said, my name is Darren, that is AJ, and this has been the first episode back of the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.